Shalane Flanagan. I am women's distance coach. Let's see, with our accolades. The best one probably is being the first ever Big Ten conference champions in cross country. First ever for the University of Oregon before Dan Lanning. So, that's maybe like the greatest accomplishment right there. My first outdoor national championship, like when I ran at UNC as a Tar Heel. My first outdoor track meet was actually at Hayward, which is crazy. NCAA championship. I fell in the prelim, didn't make the final. I still have a scar on my shoulder from falling. So that was my first experience of Hayward, but then I went on to be a professional athlete, and I actually won the Olympic trials and actually held the Hayward Stadium 10K record for a while. So it's crazy to think that I ran in the old Hayward, competed as a collegiate athlete, then as a professional athlete, made 4 Olympic teams in there, and then now I'm actually here coaching. I just remember when I got hired and Jerry got the job and he said he was going to hire me, I was I literally landed my dream job, and I was I'm never leaving. And so I better do a really good job because I never want to leave. We hold ourselves to a high standard, and so does the community. Hayward we're Tracktown USA. So therefore, it's, championships are very important. And I think what our head coach does a great job of is emphasizing that we are a true team. And so we are not just a distance team here. We're a big piece to our success with our distance women and men, but that we are a total team. And so we have some of the best throwers and jumpers and sprinters in the world, and being a complete team and a well-rounded, healthy, robust team, I think, is a really big piece of Oregon track and field, right? We do every discipline, and that's hard to do and be successful, to be honest. So I think that's a big goal of ours, is always to be competitive in as many events in the track as possible, and keep bringing home championship trophies, just showcasing that we can do a bunch of different disciplines and be exceptionally good. I think I've learned a lot in the last 2.5 years, just in terms of recruiting and who I want my team to look like. I didn't recruit Maddie, so I feel really fortunate because I showed up and she was here, and I think we had an immediate bond just because, I don't know, we're probably too similar. we're cut from the same cloth. We think a lot alike, and we're both super stubborn, and so there's pros and cons to that. But I think more than anything, obviously having some talent is huge, but I've come to realize that is not everything. You can have so much talent, just ridiculous, oozing out of you, every pore talent. But if you don't have it in the head and in the approach of just being relentlessly consistent at what we do, it won't go very far. And so now when I'm recruiting and I'm looking to build my team, there's obviously a factor of is there some inkling of talent or some innate ability? That's great. But more so than anything, I'm now looking at the kind of kid that wants to be a duck. I'm not convincing them to be a duck. They want to be a duck. We're notorious for doing some these turf reps on the, they're just the rec field right outside the rec center, in between Hayward and the rec center. So some nice long repeats. And I think the first workout we did on the turf, we got to the last rep, and I could tell Maddie was super excited because she was hanging with athletes that were very good on the team, and she hasn't been training, so it's actually kind of a miracle that she's hanging with some really great athletes, right? And we get to the last rep, and I remember seeing Maddie just sprinting and kicking it in, and I reprimanded them because I'm yo, we're not racing. This is a training session. We don't race each other, right? These are your teammates. We're working collectively as a unit, and we finish it. We don't kick it in. And she looked at me and she goes, I'm sorry, that was a high school move, wasn't it? And I was yeah, that was. No more high school moves. But she hadn't been
I didn't train since high school, so I was this is what I used to do.
So she was genuinely just, being her authentic high school self. That's the big questions. I literally go to the grocery store and they're is Maddie going to be racing this weekend? And I'm Maddie's a big pull. And, honestly, it's great because our fan base is they want to support our Oregon kids. So I love that. I think that's amazing. For sure, the old Hayward had a different vibe and it was smaller. So it's like if it drew a crowd of like a couple thousand, you felt it. It was definitely more intimate. Now at the bigger Hayward, it's like it feels different. It's nice, and it's like there's nothing better than under the lights Hayward.
Yeah.
Like I think that's where the magic is like if you can come, during the day too, but like the real magic is at night when the lights come on. I don't know, it really feels truly like hallowed ground. Whatever next phase and chapter that they're headed towards, I mean, hopefully a lot of them are headed towards professional athletics, because I think that it's a great, genuinely I can say and attest, it's a great lifestyle, it's a great profession. It's hard but really rewarding experience, but most are not going to major in professional athletics, right? Most are not going to go on to be professional runners. So hopefully I've helped them develop a skill set of, I think, just resiliency, because no matter what in life, like things inevitably change and inevitably will get hard and will be also amazingly and wildly beautiful and awesome. So embracing and like the season that they're in, like it's really hard season that they're in, knowing it won't be like that forever. It inevitably and always will change. I literally said this to Maddie. Like no matter what, you're in the season of hard. You're not there forever. It's like you can't be. So it will get better. You just don't get to dictate that timeline. And so, I hope I can instill that, they've experienced those highs and lows while they're here, and then they take that with them in whatever, they're doing in life.